Right now on KGW Plus, a new transportation bill is now on its way to the Oregon State Senate, but not before two House lawmakers voted against party lines.
Spent countless hours figuring it out.
I was really honest up front that this is where my vote was going to land.
Coming up, the reasoning behind their votes. Plus,
I think everybody wants a solution that works, you know?
After months of controversy, pushback, and now vandalism, Portland's newest homeless shelter is set to open today. We're live in the Pearl District with the latest. Also coming up.
This isn't about hurting kids. This is about trying to help kids in many different ways.
Kids in the Evergreen School District will have to spend more time at home as the district pushes back the first day again due to the ongoing workers' strike. And later,
we still can drive down the mountain and you can see the vast area that was destroyed.
It's been 5 years since wildfires tore through Oregon's Santiam Canyon, bringing mass destruction to entire towns. We'll have a look at the long road of rebuilding coming up here in the 8 o'clock hour of sunrise.
good morning and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm Shannon Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill, show your faces. There they are, ready to rock and roll on a Tuesday morning.
Oh,
hey, Rod.
Too close.
We need that forecast from you, pal.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I thought you just wanted to look at me. Here's our Snook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Sunny skies, not clear, but sunny, 51 degrees. We're thinking upper 60s, low 70s at the beach today. We have mostly sunny skies inland valley. The Chehalem Tasting Room camera out in Sherwood, still at 57, so it's been a nice start to our day. Portland holding steady at 61. We'll be 70s at noon. But keep in mind, yesterday we stopped at 78 for a high. Today, we could go all the way up to about 90 degrees for a high temperature. We have heat warnings out in Wasco County, the Dalles, for 100-degree temperatures. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. Let's take you back to the Banfield Interstate 84 eastbound. Coming off the I-5 ramps, it looks like we got a fender bender on the shoulder here. For perspective, by the way, this is the Blumenauer bike bridge, right? So we're just east of that I-5 on-ramp, and there is a little bit of local slowing getting around that. It's not bad at this moment, but we'll keep you posted. Meanwhile, our freeway drive pretty thick on the west side now. The inbound Sunset has climbed up to about 26 minutes at last check to get you in from Hillsborough, and the drive from Clark County also quite slow this morning on I-5. 205 is not bad, but I-5 right now is coming up on about 30 minutes to get you in from Main Street. That is the live look. Looks like a parking lot right now, as always, up near the Expo Center, slow and steady down to the Fremont Bridge. Guys?
This building is going to be where dreams die and nightmares begin.
That's the opinion of one Northwest Portland resident as the city plans to open a homeless shelter in the Pearl District today. For months, neighbors have pushed back on the plan, and over the holiday weekend, someone spray painted graffiti on the building attacking Mayor Keith Wilson's plan.
Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is live outside the shelter at Northwest 15th and Northrop. Thomas, we've already seen some activity outside that building this morning.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Just in the past hour, we've seen crews pressure washing the sidewalks. We've also seen other crews cleaning up trash and debris, all ahead of this opening of a shelter on the other side of this building. Despite that, we've heard from business owners here, as well as residents in the Pearl District, that they have no confidence that this will continue. One saying he's got zero confidence in city government. Let's show you one of those reasons why. You can see right here, let's take a look at some of that video of graffiti spray painted actually on the wrong side of this building. It was on the business side of the building that said, "You don't listen, no shelter." It also spray painted things like Mayor plus Vanessa equals ruined lives. The building where the shelter is located is owned by Vanessa Sturgeon of Sturgeon Development. By Monday afternoon, that graffiti was painted over, but frustration is mounting here in the Pearl District against Mayor Keith Wilson's plan as he pushes to open 1,500 new shelter beds across the city by December 1st.
I think it expresses a growing discontentment where we voted for a guy, or a lot of people did, to kind of clean up the problem. And what we didn't understand is that he doesn't know the problem, which is a drug crisis. This idea is just going to make the whole problem worse. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows what's coming, and people are upset.
We reached out to Mayor Keith Wilson's office to get his response about the graffiti. His office told us Wilson does not have a comment. Still, the shelter is opening today, and at first go, it's going to house about 40 beds. By the end of the month, they expect that it'll be 100 beds. They do think eventually the shelter could shelter as many people as 200 people at one time. The city also says that they're going to work on reducing tents and RVs and people sleeping in their cars around the area, instead trying to funnel people into the shelter, condensing campsites. But again, we've heard from numerous people for months and even this morning out here in the Pearl District who say they don't think that's good enough. Drew, China.
All right, Thomas Schultz live with the latest for us there in Portland's Pearl District. One of our other top stories this morning, a new transportation funding bill is in the hands of the Oregon Senate after state lawmakers in the House passed the plan with a 36-12 vote on Monday.
So 2 lawmakers here voted against party lines, with a Republican voting in favor and a Democrat voting against the bill. KGW's Alma McCarty spoke to both about their votes.
That, I declare that the special session of the 83rd Legislative Assembly is adjourned sine die.
Before the transportation bill secured the 36 votes needed to pass the House of Representatives and head over to the Senate for consideration, 2 legislators broke ranks Labor Day when casting their vote this special session.
Spent countless hours figuring it out.
I was really honest up front that this is where my vote was going to land.
Representative Anessa Hartman, a Democrat over Gladstone and Oregon City, voted no, while Representative Cyrus Javity, a Republican covering Clatsop and Tillamook counties, voted yes. Neither lawmaker came to their decision lightly. Hartman says her Clackamas County constituents were fed up with ODOT.
It sort of came off as just the mismanagement of funds. Why is the answer always that we need to give more money, rather than saying, okay, where are we spending that money and are we doing it efficiently?
In addition to more accountability, Hartman told KGW she hoped for more public input on this package, citing the financial burden on working families.
My real hope is, as I said on the floor, and my expectation is that we will continue to have robust conversations that are exponentially more transparent than they have been.
There are a lot of people in Oregon that don't like taxes, and I'm one of them, and I don't think anybody does, really.
Despite that, Javity says he voted for the bill, consisting of a gas tax increase plus an increase in fees because Oregon can't afford not to pass it.
And we're a big state and with a lot of miles to cover, and the option of not having any maintenance available to make sure the roads are plowed, rock slides are cleared, just wasn't really an option.
That was Alba McCarty reporting. The Senate reconvenes later this morning at 9 a.m., so about an hour here. We've heard that senators plan to vote on the transportation bill tomorrow. If it passes, though, Republican Christine Drazan has promised that she will refer the tax increases to the ballot for a statewide vote.
Thousands of people rallied around the Portland area on Monday as part of the nationwide Workers Over Billionaires Labor Day protest. They marched, they held signs, and they voiced their opposition to the Trump administration's policies. Meanwhile, the White House celebrated Labor Day by touting President Trump as the champion of the American worker, citing job creation and trade deals that support U.S. companies. All right, wildfire update. Talking about the immigrant fire here that's burning to the south of us, about 20 miles southeast of Oak Ridge. This fire has burned roughly 22,000 acres at this point. It's still 0% contained. We know smoke from this fire caused air quality issues on and off over the weekend in both Deschutes and Klamath counties.
Your time now is 8:08. Let's get over to Rod Hill for a look at your weather. We're talking 90s.
We are. Hey, that fire, the immigrant fire, you know, as you saw in that video, it's burning timber in the Cascades, for the most part an uninhabited area. And the interagency, it's the first large fire of the season that I noticed that basically they're saying that's going to burn until November rains put it out, which you run into this time of the year with some of those larger fires. The smoke has at least laid down somewhat over recent days and over last week, and air quality in Central Oregon is improved, but still moderate this morning. We have a dry day coming forward. You see clouds offshore, and you can see the what looks to be mostly sunny skies on the satellite picture, and our inland cameras verify that. That's mainly a clear sky looking out from Willamette Valley Vineyards. That's just south of Salem down in Turner. And here's the sun over the top of Providence Park in Portland. 60 degrees is the number. Go Timbers, go Thorns. Temperature forecast, or not forecast, but actual currents right now. Just starting to warm up in the 8 o'clock hour. 60 in Westland, Wilsonville, Portland, 62 up in Vancouver. Beaverton, good morning, 61. Also 61 in Salem. Still in the mid-50s, Nesticated and Silverton. 59 degrees down in Albany. Here comes the heating up weather map this afternoon at 5 o'clock. Inland areas generally near to in the 90s with a few spots that could hit 100. Weather models suggest for a high that you folks in the Dalles will make it to 100 today. Upper 90s in Madras, 90 in Sun River, about 90 from Portland down in Eugene, and with sunshine 60s and 70s along the coast. Here's a 7-day. We're basically near 90 today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Tomorrow has a spotty storm chance. We'll keep an eye for that. Friday, cooler weather with a shower threat, 82, and I've got a shower chance and only 77 on Saturday. Right now, Sunday shows up as dry. And here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, let's take you out to Skamania County. Heads up now and for the remainder, well, much of the day anyway, through about 3:30. WashDOT doing some road work on SR 14 on the Hamilton Creek Bridge. And what that means for you is that they're going to be flagging alternating traffic one lane at a time over that bridge. So expect some delays there throughout the day until about 3:30. All right, back to the metro area. Let's zoom in on the I-84, I-5 interchange. We've been watching this crash here over the shoulder of eastbound 84. No lanes are blocked, but it is causing at least a little bit of local slowing. If you look really closely here, there's the Markham Bridge right on top of OMSI here. So that right lane getting onto eastbound 84 is starting to tie up just a little bit. But outside of that, the drive's not in too bad a shape. It is a little slow on the west side, 25 minutes now to get you in from Hillsborough. And yeah, Drew, I'd say that's slow. That's I-5 up near the Expo Center. Of course, it's like that every day at this hour. Right now, we're a solid 25 minutes to get you in from Main Street.
It's like one step below not moving at all.
Close.
All right, check this out.
I start with my heels low and my head down. I high knees and I finish strong.
That is a local fourth grader who is very much in the running to win Sports Illustrated's National Youth Athlete of the Year. We're going to hear more from him coming up right here on Sunrise. Plus,
President Trump is now weighing in on the vaccine controversy causing so much turmoil at the CDC. I'm Alice Barr in Washington. Coming up, the new criticism from 9 former heads of that agency against the nation's health secretary.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
A 9-year-old track star from Wilsonville has been busy breaking records and raking in the medals, and now he's competing for a national award. Catherine Cook shows us how you can help him finish the finish line in first place.
Grant Broussard likes to run fast.
I just feel like the wind blowing on my ears.
The 9-year-old from Wilsonville just wrapped his second track season and added more hardware to his impressive track record. In July, he won the 100-meter dash in the USA Track and Field Regionals in Spokane. His time of 13.55 seconds, an all-time meet record for 9-year-olds.
I am so proud, you can't imagine.
Grant's dad and coach, Kirk Broussard, says Grant's work ethic and attitude are big reasons he's improved so quickly.
Grant is beyond his years when it comes to his technique.
I start with my heels low and my head down. I high knees and I finish strong and lean.
That win in Spokane qualified Grant for the national championships, but he skipped that this summer to focus on other sports. Next year, he hopes to win it all.
And Grant has a strong chance of making it happen.
And there's something else. Grant is in the running for Sports Illustrated's Youth Athlete of the Year. Voting to make the next round ends Thursday night, and right now Grant's in 3rd place in his group. Top prize is $25,000, and he knows just what he'd do with it.
Maybe put in the stock market.
He's used to investing in his future.
Each practice is a deposit to get to where we want to get ultimately in life and in track. So I feel like the kid deserves it.
Win or lose, Grant will end this contest like he does all of those on the track.
I say good race and good job to them.
In Wilsonville, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
And if you want to vote for Grant, just head to Catherine's story on KGW.com and look for the link. And then we can make a winner out of him.
Yeah, you can go from 3rd place to 1st place.
Yeah, currently in 3rd, but yeah, hopefully he can hit the top of the line right there. What do you got, Rod, weather-wise?
Let's start off with the September outlook. If you haven't seen this yet, what's eye-catching for me is that the 30 days of September are projected to be in green, and that means above normal rainfall for western Washington, western Oregon. What that would mean for Portland, a typical September drops about 1.5 inches of rain, so we would expect more than that if that forecast comes true. Both of our states in white, and that means there's no strong confidence signals to go warm or cold for the month of September. But if we have several rainy days with clouds, you would think that would somewhat hold temperatures down, right? Now, with that said, today is not a hold temperature down day. It's a temperature rising day. And this is this afternoon at 5 o'clock. We've got upper 80s in Scappoose and St. Helens, 83 in Vernonia. This shows Portland and Vancouver, Oregon City all reaching 90 or a little bit warmer. Same thing down in Woodburn, Silverton, and Salem. And then you get out into Wasco County. It has you folks in the Dalles reaching 100 degrees. The Weather Service has a heat advisory up for Hood River in the Gorge today for upper 90s. And a heat warning for the Dalles at 100. And the hot weather that we are returning to today basically stays with us today, tomorrow, and Thursday. After that, we'll start to cool down. It's not perfectly clear outside, but the satellite picture isn't showing anything, and we think it's basically a sunny day moving forward across our entire region. Here is the Columbia River from the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles. Again, you folks under the heat warning this afternoon, getting up to about 100 degrees, 65. And we'll go from the Columbia River in Wasco County to the Columbia River between Multnomah and Clark counties. And here's our newest sky camera in Vancouver. This is from the Springs at the waterfront. The Springs is that retirement community that sits on the west side of the waterfront there. You can see the Columbia and traffic on the interstate bridge. A little cloudiness here and there, but overall it's pretty sunny. I think that camera is a little deceptive right now because look how bright the Portland camera is, 61, and that's the way it looks when I look out our window near Lincoln High School this morning. 59 up in Kelso. Everybody's got sunshine. 63 currently over in Bend. Forecast for the coast today, sunshine, upper 60s, low 70s. It's generally a light wind forecast once again, which we've had a bunch of over the past couple of weeks. Getting up to the low 90s in Salem and McMinnville and Corvallis, and getting up to about 90 degrees in Clark County today. And I've got Portland at 90 as well. Spotty storm chance tomorrow. We'll see if we get something in the valley or not. If anything, the chance is better later in the day into the evening, but we'll see. Near 90, 90 on Thursday, another rain chance on Friday. And then Friday into the weekend, we will be cooling off. Temperatures will drop back down into the 70s. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. Let's get you out the door with a quick look at not so quick traffic in a couple places, specifically on the west side. We'll take you out to Highway 26. There's the sunset, staring at the sunrise coming up and over the Sylvan Hill. It's right in the driver's eyes, so that is no doubt adding to some of the slowing there. Right now, 26 minutes get you in from Hillsboro to I-405, and then we'll take you back up to North Portland, where it looks like the end of the line out of Clark County is working its way down to the Interstate Bridge. So some improvement there, but boy, once you do, you hit this wall of traffic right at the Expo Center. In China, those folks are cruising along at a brisk 9 miles an hour this morning in from the Expo Center. 25 minutes now, I'll get you in from Vancouver.
Thank you, Chris.
There is now an irresistible force that is going to make it impossible for CDC to maintain the validity of its science against ideology.
Still ahead, a shakeup at the CDC just as COVID cases climb and flu season hits. Top health leaders sounding the alarm and President Trump himself weighing in.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Congress is back in session today after an August recess. Lawmakers are expected to hear testimony at some point this week from Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Now that comes after his firing of the CDC director and his new COVID vaccine recommendations. NBC's Alice Barr has more from Washington, D.C.
With cold and flu season bearing down and COVID cases rising, a shakeup in leadership at the CDC, and new restrictive guidelines, drawing confusion about who can get the COVID vaccine. President Trump now weighing in, urging companies to justify the success of their various COVID drugs, to, quote, clear up this mess one way or the other, appearing to call into question the effectiveness of the vaccines initially developed during his first term in a fast-track process he's long praised.
Operation Warp Speed, people say, is one of the greatest achievements ever.
That as 9 former heads of the CDC slammed Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in a New York Times op-ed, saying he's, quote, endangering every American's health, and sharply criticizing his firing of CDC Director Dr. Susan Menares, who they say refused to, quote, rubber stamp dangerous and unfounded vaccine recommendations. 4 other top CDC leaders resigned in protest over the firing, one speaking out on NBC's Meet the Press.
There is now an irresistible force that is going to make it impossible for CDC to maintain the validity of its science against ideology.
Lawmakers back in Washington today preparing to press RFK Jr. for answers in a hearing Thursday.
This is contrary to what the Secretary said he was going to do, which was follow basic science.
I don't see him ignoring the science. I see him asking the hard questions.
A high-stakes battle raising serious questions for the nation's public health. With the new COVID vaccine guidelines narrowing approvals to seniors and to younger people with high-risk conditions, CVS is requiring a prescription in 13 states and D.C. and not administering the shots at all in 3 states for now. Walgreens only saying it's prepared to offer the vaccine in states where we are able to do so. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Here's a look at some other headlines, national headlines with your Morning Rush. Hundreds of people rallied in Minnesota on Monday, demanding more efforts to prevent gun violence. The rally followed last week's mass shooting at a Catholic school church in Minneapolis where 2 young children died while 18 other kids and 3 other adults were also hurt. The shooter also took their own life. Meanwhile, a college student and his dad saved a man from a car in New York just before it burst into flames. This happened on Sunday. The rescue taking place after the car crashed into a utility pole. The student and his dad stayed there with the driver while medical personnel provided treatment. Today marks 80 years since the end of World War II, with Japan signing a formal surrender on September 2nd, 1945. World War II was one of the deadliest and most destructive conflicts in world history. It also marks the only time that a nuclear weapon has been used in a war. Some business news. Kraft Heinz is splitting up into 2 separate companies. One of them will focus on sauces, spreads, and shelf-stable meals. The other is going to focus on Oscar Mayer products, Kraft singles, and the Lunchable brand. We don't know yet what the names of these 2 companies will be. I would guess one would be Heinz and the other will be Kraft, but that is to be determined. And that's a look at your Morning Rush.
We're not getting the help we need. We're not getting the pay we deserve. We're not getting the safety precautions we need.
Still ahead in our next half hour, Evergreen students expected to start school this week and are now left waiting again as classified staff continue their strike. Plus,
my God, this is our driveway. Oh my God.
5 years after one of Oregon's most destructive wildfires, one family that lost everything is sharing their story.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm Drew Carney. A controversial homeless shelter is set to open today in the Pearl District. It's part of Portland Mayor Keith Wilson's plan to open 1,500 shelter beds by December 1st. This shelter will have 40 beds to start and will eventually expand to up to 200 beds. People who live in that neighborhood, though, have been pushing back against this shelter for months, and over the holiday weekend, the building was tagged with graffiti messages, some specifically targeting Mayor Wilson. All right, Rob, what do you have for us in the Weather Center?
Sunny morning out there for the most part, and big story today is the rising temperatures back up to about 90 degrees in most spots. Here's our Salem live camera for you, 61 degrees, nice morning, sunshine over downtown. Same temperature as Salem at 61. I have a 75 degrees at noon, and there's the hot afternoon getting up to about 90 degrees. This looks to be day one of roughly 3 days of somewhere near 90. 88 tomorrow, 90 on Thursday, and then Friday cooling, 82, Saturday 77. There are rain chances on the 7-day, including a spotty storm chance here in the valley tomorrow.
Good morning. Check this out. Mount Etna, one of Europe's most active volcano, is erupting again, spewing lava and ash over the Mediterranean island of Sicily. Those looking to catch a glimpse of the dramatic eruption over the weekend were met with mountain rescue teams and authorized guides that work to keep tourists safe. Officials say visitors have to stay at least 160 feet from the lava and can't climb above 8,000 feet without a guide. Now, you would think that would be common sense to stay away from the lava, but they need people in place to make sure that doesn't happen.
I'm not sure if I can put Chris in this category or you, China, but I know that Rod and I can't climb 8,000 feet with or without a guide, so that doesn't really apply to us in any scenario.
That's true, too.
What do you
Hey,
melt?
let me know if this gets close to the porch, right?
That's when we get concerned.
Yeah.
It is a Tuesday morning. It's the first day of school for a lot of kids in the area. Gresham Barlow students going back today. Salem Kaiser students going back today.
Daphnator's got our first day of kindergarten
right?
today. Yes, Daphne, our youngest, is.
It's a huge day for you.
Yeah. She had a little trial day last couple days Friday, right? They got short-circuited because of the early dismissal, but now she's at it and excited.
I know we don't have a lot of time, but on that trial day, tears or smiles?
She was worried on Friday, and now I got the note from Mom that says she is happy as can be this morning.
All right, very cool.
Well, that's exciting. Here's our live sky camera this morning from Schnickwins Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Everybody has sun. That was the beach. Here's Chehalem Tasting Room camera. Portland sun, 61. This is the day we heat up, 75 degrees at noon, and then getting up to about 90 degrees. There's a heat advisory for upper 90s out in Hood River, a heat warning for temperatures that may hit 100 degrees out in the Dalles. At 5 p.m., this model shows the Dalles at 99, Pilton 97. So you can see all the hot weather, and basically near 90 from Portland down into Eugene. And here's our 7-day forecast. Day one of 3 days of 90, 88, 90. After that, we start to cool off into the 70s this weekend. Several rain chances, including a spotty storm chance tomorrow. If anything, the chance is better later in the day. Again, may or may not happen. And then shower chances on Friday, Saturday, and Monday. All right, here is Chris.
Rod, let's spin the traffic wheel and find out where we land. We'll start off on the west side. The inbound Sunset, slow and go, climbing the hill towards Sylvan, and the I-5 drive through North Portland. This is our slowest stretch of freeway right now. This is live up near the Expo Center. The speed sensor showing that drive is moving along at a brisk 9-mile-an-hour pace right now to get down to the Fremont Bridge. 26 minutes now gets you in from Main Street south to I-405. And of course, not to be outdone, as we mentioned, the Sunset's pretty slow out near the Sylvan Hill as well. And at last check, guys, the trip in from Wilsonville now has spiked up. We're just shy of 40 to get you north from the Boone Bridge to the Markham. Back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. Here's a look at some of our local news headlines this half hour. A man died over the holiday weekend after crashing a bike in Portland's Washington Park. This is a look at a map where it happened. Investigators say he was riding a BMX-style bike downhill near the reservoir on Sunday when he crashed trying to squeeze between two boulders. Police say he was with a group and was not wearing a helmet.
With the unofficial end of summer, local real estate agents spent the holiday weekend holding open houses, hoping for some foot traffic. They say that there's a lot of homes for sale right now, adding that it's the first time in more than 10 years it's a buyer's market. But it appears a lot of buyers aren't in a rush. Some are happy to stick with the current properties longer, in part because higher interest rates. Realtors say that many homes are sitting on average of 80 days on the market.
They have options. Buyers can keep looking, and they know that they don't have to hurry to get a property under contract.
This has been somewhat of a what-if economy, and the what-if is that after uncertainty, good things happen.
Realtors say tariffs, among other things, may have people thinking twice about big commitments, though those we talked with believe that things are starting to turn around with more substantial changes coming sometime next year.
Still no school yet for kids in Vancouver's Evergreen School District. That's because district leaders pushed back today's rescheduled first day of school.
Last Tuesday was supposed to be the first day for Evergreen students until a group of classified workers in the district went on strike. KGW's Celine Stevens has the latest on negotiations between the district and the workers.
This isn't about hurting kids. This is about trying to help kids in many different ways.
While Tuesday was supposed to mark the first day of school for kids a part of Evergreen Public Schools, that's no longer the case. Monday, the union that represents paraeducators, bus drivers, and other support staff attended a Labor Day rally in the park right beside the school's district office.
We're not getting the help we need. We're not getting the pay we deserve. We're not getting the safety precautions we need.
The district presenting their final offer to union members last week, which the union rejected.
Our insurance on average is going up over $65 a month this year, and the raises that they're offering us will barely cover that. And it's not about money, but it is about being able to continue to do the work.
There aren't enough paras to serve the special needs students that we have.
There was no movement happening this holiday weekend either, after the union demanded that the district employees on the negotiating team not get supplemental payments for bargaining outside of regular work hours. The district rejected that demand.
It was the union's position that if we're broke and you need us to take less, then you need to take less as well.
However, the district telling KGW supplemental payments are legal, but they were not paid this weekend. Classified employees on strike with the district saying they need better pay, staffing, and protection, but their passion for their job is what keeps them going.
Sometimes we get attacked by students. A lot of people don't know that we're kind of like the background of the school. They know the teachers, they know the administration. We're the ones that help keep the students calm, help keep the students working.
Celine Stevens, KGW News.
Students in the White Salmon School District will be released 2 hours early today because of the heat. The Stevenson-Carlson School District will also be releasing students 2 hours early today, though it's not clear if it's also due to heat. Meantime, Portland Public Schools will return to its normal schedule today after releasing students 2 hours early last Friday due to the heat. PPS saying it does not anticipate any weather-related alterations to the schedule for the rest of the week, though if that changes, they'll communicate that to parents. The district says that over the weekend, it installed 15 temporary AC units across its hottest schools. 13 of those are currently up and running, with the remaining 2 to be finished this week.
Parking in Portland gets more expensive today. That's because pay-to-park hours are extending until 10 o'clock at night on Portland streets downtown, in Old Town, and in the Pearl District. A new 5 after 5 rule will also start today in some parts of the city. 5 after 5 means that people can park in one spot for up to 5 hours, starting at 5 p.m. This applies to downtown, the Central East Side, and the Lloyd District.
Your time now is 8:37. Headed over to Chris McInnes for a look at traffic.
Not quite free parking, but slow enough on Interstate 84 right now westbound. This is out near 82nd Avenue. We're rolling along at about 10 to 12 miles an hour, so that's one of our slower spots for sure this morning. We'll switch gears, take you over to the west side, the inbound Sunset, climbing the hill from 217 up towards Sylvan. You got the sun right in the driver's eye here, so that probably adds to some of the slowing on that side of town. And last but not least, the drive-in from Wilsonville continues ticking upwards here. We're pretty close to 40 minutes to get you in from Wilsonville Road to downtown. The drive-in from Clark County, the end of the line has made its way down to the Interstate Bridge, but once you do, that is really slow up near the Expo Center. About 22 minutes now, get you in from Main Street. Guys?
All right, thank you, Chris. Coming up here on Sunrise, it's been years, 5 years as a matter of fact, since Oregon's historic Labor Day wildfires of 2020.
Those fires charred more than 1 million acres and leveled thousands of homes.
Oh my gosh, thank God we got out of here. Oh my God, it's our house.
This morning, we're checking back in with one family who spoke to us 5 years ago, right after they lost their home.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and tonight at 6:30 on The Story, a detox center is being proposed for a building right next door to an elementary school in Southeast Portland, causing major concern among parents. Why those behind the project say it's the only site they could find that would meet state requirements. Watch The Story tonight, live at 6:30 on KGW, or anytime on our TV app, KGW+. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
It was September of 2020, during the height of the pandemic, when many people in Oregon were also dealing with devastating wildfires that erupted across 11 different counties.
More than 40,000 people had to leave their homes. A state report later called it the most destructive sequence of wildfires in Oregon history, burning more than 1.2 million acres, killing at least 9 people and destroying over 5,000 homes and businesses.
Now, 5 years later, Christine Pitawanich revisits one family in the Santiam Canyon who lost nearly everything in the flames.
And it's all around us.
It is stark footage of just fire, just flames, seemingly all around this person.
This is what it looked like over Labor Day weekend in September of 2020.
There's a whole lot of gates right there.
Skies orange, and in some places like Staten, eerily red.
Multiple people said it seemed like we were on Mars. Earlier today, we spoke with a family, and
that family, the Sharons.
We just went back a little bit ago, and it is a war zone. I've never seen anything like it.
From Lyons to our house, 30 plus homes. Each side of the road is just homes that are lost and gone.
They took this video after the Beachy Creek fire leveled their home in Gates.
My God, this is our driveway. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank God we got out of here. Oh my God, it's our house.
The only thing that makes me feel good is my whole family's safe. We're fortunate. Even though we lost everything, we're still more fortunate than most.
I agree.
Now, 5 years later.
Wow, yeah, that was crazy.
Cindy watches the video on the couch in her family's rebuilt home.
I haven't watched that video in a long time. It seemed like it wasn't that long ago, but where we're at now, yeah, we're very, very, very lucky. I still feel that way.
Yes.
Cindy's husband, Brian, is a contractor. They were able to rebuild their house in less than a year. The journey lined with hard work and difficult moments.
I think like so many people in the canyon, I think we've all gone through so many emotions of ups and downs and starts and finishes, and you know, you're mad, you're sad, you're happy, you know, you get through all of those points, and then you also get to a point where you're just tired of it all. You just want it all to go away, and you just want to move on. But I think we're all in a good place now.
This is our new beginning. Well, it is definitely a lot more spacious than our old one.
That's true, a lot more spacious.
Yep.
A new beginning.
Because our house used to be down lower.
With an unforgotten past.
We still can drive down the mountain, and you can see the vast area that was destroyed, and you know, I guess all those feelings still come up.
Yeah, that didn't take long for you guys to like start up that Santiam Canyon
Wildfire Relief Fund. That was her. She knows how to get things done.
We're just grateful to have the opportunity to share.
Cindy and her friend Dina Freris spearheaded an effort to raise money and help their neighbors just days after the fire roared through.
We were flooded with people contacting us.
And she says, I've got this idea, and I didn't know who to call, so I thought I'd call you.
It was responding to what was happening in the moment in a way that felt positive. It's like, well, Cindy said, I have this idea. What do you think about this? Well, I think that's great. And then that one phone call leads to another, and before you know it, 4 days later.
The fund raised almost $4.5 million and helped more than 1,200 families with the partnership of Santiam Hospital.
That many people cared enough about this community. That many people found a way to say yes. And I think that's what I am struck by over and over again.
She says they closed the Santiam Canyon Wildfire Relief Fund in June of 2024 after each dollar was allocated.
Rather than choose to feel like the fire made us lose everything as a community, what it really did was refine us and show just how resilient we are, and I'm so proud of that.
They say every year that passes feels better.
Yeah, and every year the scars go away more and more, or they're less seen. Yeah.
Every year you come back and it's like, okay, there's more green now. Now the flowers are coming back. Now the trees are starting to grow. You know, I don't think we have any plans. We live day by day. We don't make any plans. We're thankful for what we have.
Thankful for their friends, family, and each other.
But I couldn't ask for a better partner.
Oh.
That's right.
I remember Christine was our lead reporter doing a lot of that wildfire coverage 5 years ago, and there she was again revisiting that family. It really was a weather-driven event, those historic wildfires.
Well, what was rare, you know, you think of east wind days. What do you think about? You think of winter. You think about east winds, and the winter coming out of the gorge can bring snowstorms, ice storms, but you don't get those east winds typically where you've got 40, 50 plus mile per hour gusts in July, August, September. And that's what we had. I can remember looking at what the wind projections were going to be over the Cascade ranges. And it was in conversation for utility companies to shut off power lines because of that. And the fire danger was high. But with all that said, it's always tough to imagine something that we've never had. We'd never have had that.
Right.
Let's hope we never do again.
For sure, for sure.
Let's get you to today's weather, which is a return to hot weather. 3 days of this, it looks like, today, tomorrow, and Thursday, being somewhere in proximity to 90 degrees, assuming all 3 days get enough sun. Now, today we're off and running with sunshine, so we will get enough sun. And this basically shows Vancouver 91, Tigard 92, Salem 93, so around 90 up and down much of the valley. And then you have the higher temperatures. It shows Hood River 100 and the Dow's 103. From Hood River east, a combination of heat advisories and heat warnings from the Weather Service that will go up, I think, starting at 11 this morning, so this afternoon, through the day Thursday. It will be a sunny day. We got some cloudiness stripping offshore. You can see that. All the weather cameras currently show we've got sun, including at the coast. Air quality in Central Oregon is actually better than it has been. I mean, yesterday it was generally moderate, and today it's generally moderate. So the wildfire smoke, especially from the flat fire, and to some degree from the immigrant fire as well, burning in southeastern Lane County, has really started to lay down. And with less smoke, air quality is generally moderate, the yellow dots east of the Cascades. There's sunny skies up over Mount Hood this morning. It's a warm start, 6,000 feet, 67 degrees. And here's the Pioneer Park building. The flag on top of the Pioneer Courthouse moving just barely. It's a mostly sunny morning, 63 out there. No weather-related issues at this hour. Warm spot would be in Oregon. Pendleton's at 70 already. It's 57 out in Baker City, and we also have 50s along the coast. So here we go from near 80 yesterday to reaching 90 today. Pretty big one-day jolt in the temperature department. Light winds. Well, we've had a couple weeks now of most days just seeing light winds to no wind. 91 projected in Salem, 88 in Longview. And about 90 in Clark County, Battleground, and Vancouver. And this shows 90 degrees in Portland, 88 tomorrow, 90 Thursday. Now, tomorrow, there is a spotty storm chance in the valley. Not something I can track, not something I can tell you when or where. and maybe we don't see it, but there is a chance that we could get a storm at some point, especially later in the day in the valley. Thursday 90, and then the cool down. Friday 82 with a shower threat. Saturday 77 with a shower threat. Right now Sunday shows morning clouds, afternoon sun, and then another shower threat on Monday. It is birthday time. All right, we start with Kiara, who is 9 today. Happy birthday to you. And we've got Caleb, who's 21 today. Happy birthday, 21 years old. Nicholas is 27, and Salem, we hope you have a wonderful birthday today. Also celebrating on this Tuesday is Dylan. Go Ducks on the hat there. 30 today, that's a big one too. And then Tim is 54 in Vancouver out there on the farm, it looks like. Happy birthday to you. And that is our list, birthdays at KGW.com, and we will celebrate with you. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with some late morning trouble in Selwood, northbound 99E, getting in from Milwaukee and up in past Tacoma near the road that, of course, takes you to the Selwood Bridge. We've got a disabled vehicle, and that is really snarling the drive now, heading north from Milwaukee up towards the Eastmoreland area. Once you get past that, the drive opens up. Back to the freeway commute, westbound 84, still tight coming in from the Gateway District, and that's been that way for the last half an hour or so. Highway 26, of course, pretty slow and steady coming up over the Sylvan Hill as well. And we're still holding steady with that drive from Wilsonville, pegged at about 37 minutes now from the Boone Bridge north to the Markham. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
In our top stories this morning, a controversial homeless shelter is set to open today in the Pearl District. It's part of the Portland Mayor Keith Wilson's plan to open 1,500 shelter beds by December 1st. The shelter will start with 40 beds and will eventually expand to shelter up to 200 people. For months, some local residents have pushed back on the plan, and over the holiday weekend, the building was tagged with graffiti messages, some specifically targeting Mayor Wilson. A new transportation funding bill is in the hands of Oregon Senate after state lawmakers in the House passed a plan with a 36-12 vote on Monday. We've heard that senators plan to vote on the bill on Wednesday. If it passes, Minority Leader Republican Christine Drazen has promised that she will refer the tax increases to the ballot for a statewide vote. And today was supposed to be the first day of school for thousands of kids in the Evergreen School District, but their start date has been pushed back yet again. It comes after classified workers in the district went on strike last week. The district has not announced a new date for the classes and when they would start, but told us they would provide us an update this afternoon.
And from 78 yesterday to 90 today. Pretty good heat up, and it looks like it's going to be with us, the return to hot afternoons through Thursday. All sun today, a spotty storm chance in the valley tomorrow, and then we do cool back down into the 70s, it appears, for the weekend.
Because that's too hot. All right, let's get you out the door. The drive is still slow in North Portland. I wonder if those cars have made much progress from the Interstate Bridge to there in the last 15 minutes or so. The trip from Clark County is still averaging about 18 minutes, Main Street to the Fremont. And northbound I-5 from Wilsonville, also a late slow spot. 40 minutes now north from the Boone Bridge to the Markham. I don't have any crashes. It's just a heavy commute in from the south this morning.
All right, and now we go to a place that was designed with the likes of Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill and China Green in mind. We're talking about Muscle Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Muscle Beach in Venice, California, where they held their Muscle Beach Championships yesterday. And among those strutting off their stuff, that guy, rapper Lil Jon. He's 54 years old.
Also crazy.
Yeah.
He's 54.
Looking good. Looking good. Now, we didn't see any news of whether or not Lil Jon won anything, although I think there was a shot of him with a medal around his neck. Yeah, there it is. And we've also got this shot of China Green, who definitely won something during the fitness competition that was held in Salem earlier this summer. In fact, you got a lot of medals around your neck there, China.
Yes, it was my first competition, and I got 4 first places.
Wow. Do you retire after that?
It was something I always wanted to try, and I wanted to do it before like having kids, and so I did it, and I was on stage posing and doing like the flexing, and I was like, this sucks. I'm never doing this again.
You know, they were all kind of giving me a hard time. They were all giving me a hard time earlier this morning because I knew very little about Lil Jon.
Yeah.
But what would Lil Jon, it's Lil Jon, right?
Yes.
What would Lil Jon say if he saw you, his buddy, with all those medals? What would he do? How would he react?
Yeah. Something like that. Okay.
What's the song that he does that I said I didn't know was his?
Literally every song he does that. Oh, wait, what?
That song that I said I knew of, but I didn't realize it was a Lil Jon song. Can you sing it?
Party rocking in the house tonight.
I know
like that.
And then what does he do during the song?
He closes the show.
With?
Yeah. Goodbye.
And that does it.